gadol al kol Elohim asher biyado mecherei aretz v'toafot harim lo asher biyado mecherei aretz v'toafot harim lo asher lo yamviu asahu v'yabeshet yadav yatsaru bo nishtachave v'nechran yibchar takshu levavchem k'miripag Arba'im shana akut bidor va'omaram to'e levavhem vehem lo yadu derachai asher nishbati bi'api im yevo'un el menuchati Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz Samra v'mayim yevoda mo'lamim yiflotam Avadar l'vanachos v'tikar k'mikdash Sachav l'Adonai barot kodesh Chilu mikumar kol haaretz Yimur v'gayim yadinamim v'meisharim Page 14 at the arrow. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz Yiramayam, Yiramayam, Yiramayam umelowo Yiramayam, Yiramayam, Yiramayam umelowo Yiramayam, Yiramayam Yiramayam umelowo Yiramayam 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 umelowo Yismechu hashamayim hashamayim Yismechu hashamayim hashamayim Yismechu hashamayim v'tagel Ya'alo sadai v'chol asher bo Az yiranenu kol atzei ya'ar Lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz Yishpot tevel b'tzedek Ve'amim b'emunato
We're going to continue with Lecha Jodi, which is on page 23.
But first, I want to do first. Page 17.
Yes, page 17.
Page 17. Psalm 98. I like this tune.
Apologies,
Mismor. By the way, there's transliteration, so if you want to sing along, you can use the transliteration or the Hebrew or la la la. Anything would be welcome. It goes like this. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, ki nitlaot asa. Hoshia lo yemino, uzero akodsho. Hodia Adonai yeshuato, lenei agoyim gilat tzidkato. Zachar chasto ve'yemunato leveit Yisrael ra'u kol afsei aretz et Yeshuat Eloheinu hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz pitchu ve'ranenu ve'zameru zamru l'Adonai b'chinor וכינור וכל זמרה, בחצוצרות וכל שופר, הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושביו, נהרות ימחאו חב, יחד הרים ירננו, לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, ועמים במישרים. ילאי 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 ילאי
That would have been so sad if we had missed that. So I apologize for almost skipping over the opportunity to use our voices and our instruments and our la-la-las and all of those things in order to bring in Shabbat. So anyway, glad you're all here. Shabbat Shalom. It is time now for us to welcome the beloved of Shabbat with Lecha Dodi, which begins on page 23.
So this is a tune by a rabbi composer named Josh Warshawski, and he called this Lecha Dodi the Corning Lecha Dodi because he was living on a street called Corning when he wrote it. And now our daughter lives on that street. Isn't that right? Yeah, okay. So here's the Corning Lecha Dodi. It goes like this. Yam baradai lecha dodi, yam baradai likrat kala, yam baradai pene Shabbat nekabela, yam baradai lecha dodi, yam baradai likrat kala, yam baradai pene Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela, shamor vezachor bedibor echad hishmianu ela meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet velitila, lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, o penei Shabbat, penei Shabbat nekabela, likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila, o lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, o penei Shabbat, penei Shabbat nekabela, mikdash melech yirmelu chaku mitzeim mitoch ha'afecha, רב לך שבט בימי קבחה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה, לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, או פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה, התנערי מעפר קומי לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, על יד בן ישי בית הלך מקרבה אל נפשי גאלה, לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת לקראת קלה, או פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תהמי, בך יחסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה עיר על תילה. אוי לך דודי, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. והיו למשיסה שוסייך, ורחקו כל מבלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהייך, כי משוש חתן על כלה. לך דודי, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, או פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תעריצי, על יד איש פן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. או לך דודי, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני ים סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, אוי לך דודי, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, או פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. Speaking of Shabbos, we're going to move to Mizmor Shir, which is the only psalm in the entire book of Tehillim which actually mentions Shabbat. So this is why we do it. It's a special psalm for a special day. And we're going to continue with the clapping, I think, with this Mizmor Shir, which will be on page 27.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. Adonai, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי זמרתני עלי בבונך, במעשה ידך עלי מגלמך. צדיק התמר יפרח, ירס בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו. עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולא עוולתה בו.
So Shabbat is always special, but one of the things that makes this Shabbat extra special, it is the beginning of the Shabbat of the Bat Mitzvah of Kayla, which is personally exciting for me and even more exciting for the entire family. So we'd like to invite Kayla and her mom Katie to come on up and light the Shabbos candles.
You may all sit down. Yes,
it slides in, doesn't it? And I know you guys just sat down, but now I'm going to invite you to come right back up in order to present Kayla with a special gift for tomorrow.
I'm going to cry. I try not to, but just bear with me. Thank you. Okay. Our dearest Kayla, on the eve of your bat mitzvah, your father and I are so very proud of you and excited for you. Nearly 6 years ago, you began your studies at Adariel. You chose and committed to learning about Judaism, your culture, and history, from the teaching of the Torah to your roots in Eastern Europe and Iran. We have watched you grow into an amazing young woman. You are so smart, funny, beautiful, empathic, I'm not going to, and talented. An amazing daughter, a fiercely loyal friend, and a loving and usually very patient sister to Evan and Eli. A competitive gymnast and wise beyond your years. We couldn't ask for anything more. And with this weekend, you have proven time and time again that you can accomplish absolutely anything you set your mind to. You are surrounded this weekend by friends and family who love you and care about you, whose lives you have touched from the East Coast to the West Coast. Tonight we present you with your talis, which you will wear when you're called to the Torah tomorrow morning as a bat mitzvah. May this talis bring you closer to God, the Jewish community, and serve as a reminder to follow God's commandments and live a mitzvah-centered life. Kayla, may you always be blessed and empowered by the gift of being a Jewish woman. May you one day pass down stories and traditions, old and new, to your children and your children's children. While you may be a young woman now, okay, you will always be our baby girl. We love you so much, Mazel Tov.
Mazel tov. That talit is going to be beautiful tomorrow. I invite you all to rise for the Barhu on page 39A.
Lie, die, die, lie, die, lie, die, die, lie, 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 die, die, lie, 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 die, 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 lie, die, die, lie, die, lie, die, la, lie, 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 die, 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 I die, 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 die. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam le'olam va'ed. Lai dai dai lai dai lai dai 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 lai lai dai 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 lai dai dai lai dai dai lai 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 dai 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 lai dai 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 lai dai dai. Umavir yom umevi laila umavdil ben yom uben laila Adonai tzvaot shemo el chai v'kayam tamidim lo chaleinu leolam voed Baruch ata Adonai Hama'ariv aravim Ahavat olam beit Yisrael chachavta Torah mitzvot Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla V'avatcha tasir mimenu liolamim Baruch ata Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam ve'shivtecha beveitecha uvlechtecha vaderech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtabtam al mezuzot beitecha ubisharecha ve'chayim shamoat ishmu mitzvotai shenachem etzevech v'natati matartachem b'torah Adonai Elohechem emet ve'emunah kol tov v'kayim aleinu ki Adonai Eloheinu ve'en zolado v'anachnu Yisrael amo padeinu min malachim sam nafsheinu b'chaim. Top of 44. Umalchuto biratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe uMiriam uvnei Yisrael echa'anu shira besimcha rabba v'yamru chulam Mi chamocha bo'elim Adonai Mi kamocha netar b'kodesh Nora tehilot osef eleh Nora tehilot osef eleh Malchutcha ra'u vanecha bokei hayam Lifnei Moshe Ze'eli anu be'yameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Ze'eli anu be'yamru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Ve'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov U'ki'alo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Ka'al Yisrael.
The prayer Hashkivenu is the prayer that asks in the evening for our safety, for our security, and for us to be protected and shadowed and enveloped under Sukkot Shlomecha, a dwelling of God's protection and peace and wholeness. Hashkivenu is on the top of page 45.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom l'shalom 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 Stand us up, Adonai You'll spread your wings upon us all Give us peace and keep us safe L'shalom, l'shalom, l'shalom Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom L'shalom Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom L'shalom Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha L'shalom 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 Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom L'shalom Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom L'shalom ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום, עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, הפורש סוכת שלום, עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
The Shamru is on the top of the next page, 46. Please rise.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, שבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש ביום השביעי. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם וליומי יומיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעולמה ואמרו
I invite you to join in this silent Amidah with the words of our tradition, which you'll find on page 47 through 52, or to take a Shabbat moment with yourself and the words of your own heart.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, אמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, אמרו, אמן. Yammer nai 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 la 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 la. Yammer nai 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 nai. Yammer nai 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 nai. Yammer nai 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 nai. Ya la 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 la. Yammer nai 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 nai. Yammer nai 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 nai. Yose shalom bimroma. Ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, אמרו, אמן. יתגנב ויקרא שמי רבה, בעולמה דברה קירותי ומלחמכותי בחייכון ובימיכון ובחייתך בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם וליומי יומיים. יתברך וישתבח ויתפור ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמנו קודשה. בריחו לי אלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה ותשבחתה ונחמתה תאמר בימה ויאמרו אמן. תתקבל צלותון ובאותון תכל ישראל קודם אבוהני ושמיה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלום רב מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ויאמרו amen.
Shabbos.
Shabbos.
I'm going to take this out of here. Shabbat Shalom. So, we all know the expression, the clothes make the man, right? Let's not get too worried with the genderizing of that sentence. Let's just say the clothes make the human. And it's true, right? Oftentimes what we wear determines how we feel. Maybe today, in getting ready to come to shul tonight, you changed your clothes from what you were wearing earlier today to work or to be in your everyday common life, because the clothes that you changed into made you mindful of the fact that you were coming to shul, right? And doing something special and carving out space. My son is a senior in high school, and he is going to Disneyland for grad night. And I was just talking to him about my grad night, which was also at Disneyland, and I was remembering that one of the rules of going to Disneyland for grad night was that we needed to dress up. Dress up at Disneyland? I remember being completely shocked by that. Like, Disneyland is for jeans and tennis shoes and hoodies, right? But I remember it was a rule of going to grad night that we needed to dress semi-formally. And of course, at the time, I was completely put off by this. But now that I'm an adult, I kind of get it. And the idea is that the Disneyland philosophy is that the way that the students are dressed will kind of dictate the way that they behave. And it really does, doesn't it? A story about my other child. My daughter is a party planner. And even during COVID, when there were no parties to attend, right? And we were all sitting at home we all were, right? My daughter made parties. And I remember for Valentine's Day during COVID, she said to the family, I'm going to do a special dinner, I'm going to do a special dessert. Everybody needs to be downstairs in their formal wear at 6 o'clock. And we were like, do we even have formal wear? We've been wearing sweats and slippers for months, almost a year, right? But she said to her daddy and her brother, suits and ties for you, and she said, a formal gown for you, Mom. Well, to humor her, we did it. And actually, I have to say, it was one of the most memorable, wonderful family moments that we had. We had a formal dinner in our home, and we had a dance party. She DJ'd. And we were at a formal affair. The reason that I bring all of this up tonight is because this week's portion, Tetzaveh, continues to talk to us about the commandments to build and create the Mishkan. And not just the physical space of the Mishkan, but all of the stuff in it. And not just all the stuff in it, but the stuff that the priest is supposed to wear. That's this week. So we read all about the ephod, which is kind of like the tunic type of thing, which is woven with different colors that all have symbolic meanings. We read about the linen breeches, the sash, and the head plate. And we also read about the breastplate that is described very, very detailed and meticulously for what it's supposed to look like. So the breastplate that the priest wears is to cover his heart, and it is to be decorated with 12 different jewels or stones that represent the 12 tribes of Israel, that represent all of Bnei Yisrael that is in the wilderness, Bamidbar, as they are carrying and moving and creating this Mishkan. And what we like to say about that breastplate is that all of the different tribes of Israel are represented in the Mishkan over the priest's heart, and that he kind of represents all of the people who will be coming to and participating in the Mishkan. But what I want to suggest to you tonight is that it's not just an outward thing. It's not just the priest wearing the breastplate to represent the community. It's also the community who has the priest's heart covered. And it's my guess that when the priest donned this special outfit and hung this breastplate over his heart, it put him in a different mindset. And then when the people of Israel saw their own representations over the priest's heart, it put them in a different mindset. That there's a reciprocity, right? Like a symbiosis, a mutuality in what he was wearing. And I even want to take this one step further, and I want to remind you about the Holy of Holies inside the Mishkan, the Aron HaKodesh, which says in Torah that it is to be decorated with 2 kruvim, 2 angels, whose wings are kind of back and who are facing each other. And it is said that in the space between those 2 kruvim, the 2 angels' faces, that is the place where God dwells. Again, this kind of reciprocity, this mutuality. So when we think about the space in between, when we think about the breastplate being both a coming and a going, when we think about rising to welcome the Sabbath queen, the Shabbat bride, the beloved, what I'd like to say is, may the blessing of this reciprocity, of this community, always be before your eyes and always be a jewel that covers your very core. Shabbat Shalom.
sit right here. Yeah, great. Before, we want people over there to hear us too. You can all hear me without this, but they can't. So before you lead us in the Kiddush, we, Adat Ariel, not just me, have some gifts to present to you. So I want to tell you what's in this bag. The first thing I'm going to pull out, I'm not going to unwrap it because we don't want to take the time to unwrap it, and it's a really nice box. But there's something in the box. The name Emmanuel is on here because this is the name of the artist who made the Kiddush cup that is in here. So you have your very own Kiddush cup, an artistic one made in Israel. This is something that we are giving you, and we hope that you use it every week to say Kiddush whenever it is that you're able to say Kiddush. And I want you to lead your family in Kiddush. Okay. And I want you to make sure that your brothers know it, right? Okay? The Jewish Federation has a book called Israel Matters that they present to every bar and bat mitzvah in town. It's a really wonderful book and an easy read, and something that talks all about the country. It goes way beyond the kinds of things that we hear in the news, and may we only get better news than we've been getting. But I think it's really important, and we at Adat Ariel and the Federation think it's very important for every young person who is becoming a bar or bat mitzvah to understand as much as they can the state of Israel that is so important to us as a people and as a religion. Okay. Also, there is an organization called the LA Jewish Teen Initiative, which is giving a pair of socks, but more than a pair of socks to every bar and bat mitzvah child in LA, a $100 gift certificate to go towards one of the activities that they put on. It's a great way to meet people your age from around the city. In addition, we in the rabbinic department want to give you a kippah so that you can use that whenever you need to and want to. Our Adat Ariel youth group is giving you this little book called B'Kol Echad, which everybody describes as a bencher and song book, and it's true, but the problem is a lot of people don't know what a bencher is. To bench is to bless. There's a lot of blessings in here for Shabbat, like the Kiddush, like the Motzi, like the candle, and a whole bunch of songs. In the back, there's tons of songs that we use with our youth group, but also at different camps and stuff. It's a nice book to have in your library. And finally, this envelope contains your bat mitzvah certificate. You can frame it and put it on your wall. It has a certificate from the Jewish National Fund. They have planted trees in your honor. And there is also a letter from Adat Ariel, another $100 gift certificate towards any Jewish camping or Israel experience that you would like to put it towards. Okay? So parents, remember that. You don't redeem it and you get it, right? And a lot of people forget it and they don't redeem it, and I don't get it. I mean, like, okay, so this is all for you, and I'm going to put it back in the bag. You get to, don't forget it, take it home, right? Okay, read this book. The test is in a week. I'm just kidding. Okay, this is for you, this is for you, this is for you. I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to get the Kiddush cup. And I invite everyone to please rise for the Kiddush on page, I think it's 55. Let's see, am I right? Yo, I remembered that. Yay, here, you get to hold this too. Okay? Whenever you're ready, my dear.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvatzon Inhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat
precious. Yasher Koach, take your notebook. And we're going to go right on with Aleinu. Aleinu Shabeach Ladona Kol Latei Gedula Liotzer Breshit Shelo Asanu Kigoyei Haratzot Velo Samanu Kemishpachot Ha'adama Shelo Sam Chelkeinu Kahem Vegor Aleinu Kechol Amonam Va'anachnu Korim Umishtachavim Umodim Lifnei Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Noteh Shamayim V'Yosed Haaretz Umoshav Yikaro B'Shamayim Mima'al Ushchinatu Zo V'Govei Meromim Hu Eloheinu Einod Em Malkeinu Efes Ulato Kakatu B'Torato V'Yadat Hayom Ve'Ashevota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Elohim Hashamayim Mima'al V'Al Haaretz Mitachat Einod Alkeinu Kaveh Lecha Adonai Eloheinu L'Rabbi Rabbi Tiberis Chalev T'Akeinu Lama Malchut Shalei V'Chol B'nei Ki המלכות שלך היא ולעולמי תמלוך בכבוד ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Even in times of great joy, it is our tradition to take a moment to remember and to hold dear those who have passed on and those who among us are in grief. Recently deceased in our community is Deli Weisberg, the wife of past President Herb Weisberg and mother of Cheryl Davidson, and Dr. Harold Jerome Stuhlberg, the husband of Elaine Stuhlberg. In the time of Shaloshim, we remember Tom Lesserman and Marlene Smith. And this Shabbat marks the yahrzeit of the following: Max Gitterman, Daniel Greenberg, William Jacoby, Harry Reeder, Arthur Rubenstein, Barry Seaman, Dahlia Sharvit, David Sigman, Samuel Silverman, Samuel Bregman, Mortimer Hartung, Miriam Herman, Ruth Notkin, Irving Orlick, Nydia Padron, Sandra Rappaport, Sandra Skora, Selma Davidson, Chaim Hendlish, Sarah Cordish, Bertha Lowenthal, Marcy Rothman, Joseph Shapiro, Saul Spiegelman, Jack Wish, Carolyn White Buchler, Bess Emerson, Patricia Michelson, Charlotte Roth, Morris Schwartzman, Chaya Superstein, Joseph Aaron, Ethel Barron, Bessie Cutler, John Hoffman, Leonard Kaplan, Jacob Lepler, Francis Mazel, Ruth Morris, Lillian Rosenthal, Erwin Simon, Rosalie Turner, Ann Wagoda, Mordechai Zeltzer, Morris Binder, Sarah Cohen, Lillian Gittelman, Ralph Greenblatt, Leah Hoch, Alfred Marr, Harry Noodleman, Raoul Rubel, Abbott Sackheim, Morris Smoller, Louis Abrams, Harold Curlin, Jake Farber, Virginia Frank, Adela Lowy, Solomon Mintz, Morris Nebel, Louis Parker, Esther Partnow, Sarah Schwartz, Eva Slackhoff, David Turboff, and if I may add one more name to that list, it's the yahrzeit of my daddy, Lloyd Dennis Gold. So if you are observing a yahrzeit, I invite you to please rise and join in the Mourner's Kaddish on page 58. Yitz Gadal v'yitzkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uvyomechon, v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kari v'yimru, Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam umei almaya. Yitzbarach v'yitztabach v'yitzba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal, shmei dekudasha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram be'alma v'yimru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Come on up, Cantor. I think we're going to, first of all, say our thank yous. That will be brief, but for sure would like to say thank you to David. For sure to say thank you to you. For sure to say thank you to everybody who is here, both in the room and on Zoom. And we'll continue with our closing song, Yigdal, which is on page 62.
But first, thank you, thank you, thank you. And guess what? Purim's coming up.
Yes.
So, and we have, in chronological order, we have a huge Purim carnival on Sunday from 10:30 to 2:30. It's called Purim World, and if you didn't know that, all you have to do is look at the banners in the parking lot, and you can tell. It's going to be a blast. You have a question, Evan? Yeah. What's your question? Is there a roller coaster? I think probably something close to. It's not like Splash Mountain. It's not Splash Mountain, but there's something. I don't know. It's good stuff.
But you don't have to dress formally.
Right. So come if you're a good time. Really, it's a blast. It's really fun. That's our Purim Carnival. Monday night is Purim, and so in this room, in this very space, we are going to be reading Megillat Esther, the book of Esther. We're going to be coming dressed again, talking about clothing, in costumes to make it a fun and silly time. We're going to boo that nasty man's name. What's his name? Haman. Boo. And we're going to have the first, you know how people look forward to the Super Bowl, some people for the games, some people for the commercials, right? For the first time ever, there are going to be commercials aired here at Adad Ariel that go along with the various chapters of the Megillah. So you got to come for the chapter, for the ads, for the commercials. That's Monday night, and then Tuesday morning there is Megillah reading as well. So that's Purim. Next Friday night is Family Friday. Mm-hmm. Did I say that right? Yeah. In 2 Friday nights, it's Naranana in this very room filled with more musicians in addition to our pianist. Okay, I think that's enough.
3 Friday nights?
And 3 Friday nights?
That will be 4th Friday. We are doing a Pride Shabbat. That'll be March 24th, so be here for that too.
And so you have now the entire month of March, but I'm sure there's more. But we're still going to end with Yigdal on page 62. Yigdal Elohim chai ve'yishtabach nimtza v'yeneit el metziuto echad v'yen yachid keyichudo ne'elam v'gam ein sof le'yachduto אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו. הינו אדון עולם וכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו. There's a lot of words here, so let's do a chorus of la la la, and then you can continue to sing la 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 if you don't want to sing the words with me. Here we go. La 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 la. I'm going to do the fourth verse. You can sing the words or la la la, but sing something. Lo kam b'Yisrael k'Moshe od navi umabit et emunato Torat emet natan leyamoel al yad nevio neman beito. Lo yachalif ha'el velo yamir dato le'olamim lezulato tzofeh v'yodea setarenu mabit lesof davar bekadmato. גומל איש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע רע כרישתו, ישלח לקץ ימין משיחנו, לפתות מחכה קץ ישועתו. Last verse. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו, מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו. Good Shabbos.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Let's do it. Actually, before that, because we're gonna do First Fridays. So.
Now I'm upset I never went to grad night. But I went to my 50-year high school
Well, I
reunion.
didn't go to my prom, so there you go.
I didn't go to my prom either.
All right, good Shabbos.
My name is Evan. My name is Evan.
I know. It's often used note.
My name is Evan Oswald. I'm the president of the United